What's going on YouTube? It's Thomas from the Barber Style Directory and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be shaping up an afro and then I'm going to taper the sides and the back. Be sure to comment below what other tutorials you guys want to see, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into the video. We're going to start this video out by picking out the hair. And then we're going to create our bald guidelines around the head. And I'm using the Slimline Pro LIs. We're not going to go up too high because we still have to shape the afro, and I don't want to take too much off of the sides. And here we have the wall legends with the lever fully open. And notice how I'm not going up as high as I normally do. And here I'm just doing some shaping at the same time. Alright, now here you see me drop down the lever and just start to blend in that guideline. And notice that I'm using the corner of a blade. I'm using the corner of the blade since I'm blending in the small space. Notice that I'm still doing some shaping. This way I don't take too much off with the guards. Okay, now here we have the zero guard. And I'm going up just a little bit. Notice how I'm working the corner of that blade. And I'm not digging into the hair. You see me lightly flicking at it. I'm trying to take off just enough hair to give it a smooth blend. Alright, and then here we're moving on to the neck taper. This is really a simple haircut, guys. You just have to take your time. And I'm just repeating the same steps that I did on the side. In my opinion, neck tapers are really easy to do because you don't really, the hair is much wider, so it's easier to blend to me. You have a larger space to blend in, is what I mean to say. And then here again with the zero guard. See how I'm not digging? I'm just trying to get just enough hair off to where it will blend smoothly into the afro. It's almost like I'm contouring the clipper to his head. Then here I'm just debulking, just getting some of that weight. And then now I'm just knocking out that bottom line that you see with no guard on, lever fully open. And as I did on the other side, you just see me shaping the haircut with the clipper. And I'm repeating the same steps that I did on each side of the head. Now with afros, this wouldn't necessarily be the first haircut that I learned how to do. It takes a little bit more stability with your hand, and you have to have a really steady hand to do afros. So I wouldn't just jump into this. If you're new learning how to cut hair, I would stick more to like haircuts first and then work your way into shaping haircuts. But don't be afraid to try this. I'm telling you, just take your time. Believe it or not, when I first began cutting the hair, I was so afraid to do afros. You know, you always have that nightmare of just zeking somebody, you know. But you just have to take your time. And you have to pick the hair out. Once you shape the hair one time, you have to pick it back out again. That's how you get a really good, clean shaped afro. And notice I have the lever fully open. That way I don't take off too much hair. And here I'm just lightly tapering the front of the hairline just so I can get the hair to lay down. And here you see me, I switched to the Barber Pro clipper. And this is because the cord, it kind of hinders you a little bit. So these were cordless and I can just feel free to move my hand any way that I needed to. And I'm just taking off a little bit at a time. The key to doing this is just to make sure that you take your time. I cannot stress that enough. The main thing is to hold the clipper flat up against the hair. That way you don't dig too far into the hair. Notice how I'm really just letting the clipper contour with the shape of his head. And this is what I meant by you have to pick the hair out again and go over it one more time. Because the first thing they're going to do when they leave the barbershop is pick their hair. So you want the hair to still retain the same shape. That's why you have to pick it out twice. Don't be lazy. Yeah, it's going to take you an extra 5 minutes, but still, just take the time and shape it up twice. And your client will appreciate it. And his hair is really long, so you see me come on top of the hair and then I line it. So it's kind of like I'm almost trimming the hair down before I even touch his skin with the clipper. That way I don't take too much hair off. And notice that I'm trying not to dig too far into his ear. I'm not trying to take it up too high. We don't want to push anything in and exaggerate it too much. We're just going to keep it natural. And then now we're going to proceed on with the side, with the arches or C cups, whatever you want to call it. Like I said before, do not exaggerate these too much because it will look terrible when it grows back. Now he has a really small forehead, so I had to switch trimmers because I didn't want the blade to nick his eyebrow. So you have to be really cognizant about that. When you have somebody with a really small forehead, you have to be sure to watch out for the eyebrows. See, we're not pushing anything, we're keeping it as natural as we can. And then here we're just putting on the finishing touches. And this is the finished result, guys. Quick, simple, easy tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for tuning in.